What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you again for tuning in. Welcome back to Ghost One More Mod. Today we are finally getting our feet wet with some 2-in-the-box mods. And I'm excited for this because this is supposed to be simplistic. I always say that and then I jinx it. This is something very difficult, very challenging. No, this is from no other than Tools and Talent Props. If you're not familiar with Tools and Talent Props, they are an awesome website on Etsy. So just go to Etsy and type in Tools and Talent Props and they have an awesome Ghostbusters Etsy shop. They are extremely well known for their pose upgrades. I got mine. It is one of my favorite upgrades I've done to the HasLab. As you can see, they have a variety of choices. One of my favorite things was the wand power sled, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Ghost Trap cable upgrade. It's extremely popular, as you can see how many people have viewed this and have this currently in their cart. So what you're going to get is some wire loom and then a couple pieces of red heat shrink. And that's pretty much it. It's going to give you that authentic look, that rib textured look to the cable, 10 feet of cable covering. And as you can see, it's going to give you that inspired look from the films with the red heat shrink finish on the ends. So that is what we're doing today. So shout out to HasLab for giving us a pretty decent cable out of the box for the Ghost Trap. But we can always make things better, and that's what we do, is we upgrade them, mod them to give a little bit more authenticity and for self-pleasure. So let's dive in. Let's see what we have here. And just like how we showed on the website, you got this 10 foot of wire loom. I can already tell it's extremely flexible, which is nice. When I was showing the Maddie cable before, it was like plastic and it was very firm and not flexible at all. Here are those 2 pieces of red heat shrink. So that's pretty much it. There's really not any tool that you need until you get to the point where you have to use a strong hairdryer or a heat gun, which I would recommend to get the heat shrink on. So real quick, I want to share something that I think is gonna save you or help you here, so don't skip ahead. Putting wires through wire loom sounds easy at the beginning, but it can be a little bit cumbersome and a little bit time consuming if you don't know what to do. So there is no specifically right or wrong way to put wire through wire loom. I will tell you this. Most people do this. Most people will get their cable, they'll get their wire loom that they want to start, and they put it at the top, they find the barrel, they stuff it in, and it looks a little something like, this. They get it going, and then they're just kind of like forcing it in and shoving it, and it's kind of like they're just fighting it. And you can eventually get it on, you will. There's just one way it goes in. There's another method. However, I find that both of these methods are a little tricky. One, we're not dealing with wires, we're dealing with a cable. That's one thing. Two, what makes this a little bit more cumbersome, like I said, this is going to be pretty simplistic, is that this cable is already terminated. So I have a method. I think it's going to be a little easier, and I hope that you find it helpful. If you do, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my ends, basically like the opposite, like you're thinking you're going from like the end of the loom and then at the start. So it's almost like you're doing this in reverse. If you look here, you're going to kind of see where this termination is at the bottom of the barrel. Kind of looks like a nut. We'll call it a nut. We're going to use that to our advantage to separate the loom. Think of it as like a snowplow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my cable, I'm gonna put it in about 1 inch. And then all I'm gonna do is make sure I can get this nut in and around that nut. Now the key thing here is to make sure that the part that you got existing stays closed. And then we're gonna use this nut to our advantage and keep constant pressure. And essentially what you're doing is you're going to be pulling that down, keeping the nut there, and then just pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. And that, from here on out, you can see how much we've already gotten done. And then we're just going to do that. Instead of trying to like start at the end, the top, and try to pull it down, I'm now, instead of pulling it down, I'm pulling this up. And I'm using that nut to my advantage. So at the same time, you might get to a point where you have to stop and kind of like pull some loom down, but that's okay. We're pretty much already halfway there. So that's all I'm doing, is just using this nut as a wedge or like a snow plow, and it's just separating the loom, and then it closes as it goes down. We are so close to the end here, and I'm curious to see how much, hopefully we'll have a little bit of excess, and if we do, we'll just get some scissors or snips and then cut that to length. I will say, doing my method here, the first 75–80% went really quick, but this last like 18 inches has gone a little bit slower. Look at that. This is the like how much we have to cover up. So I'm going to see how much we have to snip here. This is how much I have left on this end here. But yeah, my method, it went really fast. The first like 3/4, 80%. It's just this last 2 feet. All I've had to do is just basically then like kind of, there's like, it bulks up a little bit, and then I just take my hand and I just smooth it out, and it kind of pushes it down. And this will, I'm assuming, get pretty close to this barrel end here. So we're at the barrel end right there. So let's see how much we may have to snip. It might be just less than 1 inch that I have to get rid of. I think what we need to do is just snip off a little bit so it doesn't balk in the middle and separate. So I'm gonna get a quick pair of snips now. So now, if I put that in here, let's see how tight we got it. And yeah, there we go. I love how flexible it is still. Like, you can still coil it up. The flexibility is still there. But look at this. Now we've got that ribbed cable texture, just like the movies. Mwah! All right, so all we have to do now is put these on the ends to give it that extra authentic look. You might be able to get by with a really strong, powerful hairdryer, but if you don't have a heat gun, I will leave a link in the description below for the one I've used in multiple videos. It is like $25, maybe $30. It's like the price of a really nice hairdryer, but it gets the job done so much quicker. So I'm gonna go grab that, and we'll put this on, and we'll see the final product. So we're just gonna take our red heat shrink. We're gonna put this over. You wanna cover up the black, this nut, and I'd say a good stopping point is this stock line here. Obviously you want to make sure that your locking nut is out of the way, that you definitely don't overlap that. So about just right there. Hold that, make sure you do a sweeping motion. You don't want to melt the plastic of this, the loom that we just got, and also don't touch the metal, it will be hot. And here we go. I've got both ends done. As you can see, I did pretty good on keeping it, stopping short of that stock line here. And these absolutely spin freely, well short of the red heat shrink. So now I just want to see what it looks like connected to the pedal. I've said this in so many other videos, it's the little things. Just this texture to the cable now, this red wire loom. All right, I want to just, not that this absolutely changes anything, but I just want to get the full effect here. I'm gonna put that in, lock it. All right, trap. And I love how flexible it's remained, you know, and it's so cheap too. It's 25 bucks, and you know, he sourced the right diameter loom for us, the right texture, includes the red heat shrink. It's so simple, but it is the little things. All right, not that this changes anything, but makes me smile every time. Woo! I'm just... Makes me smile. Still makes me smile. And now we've just got that extra authenticity. Such an easy, cheap mod. I feel like this video is probably shorter than I anticipated, which is a good thing. but I feel like I thought this was going to be longer. So let's make this a double feature. Let's do it. Whatever, right? Let's keep going. Let's do another mod. Awesome job, Tools and Talent Props. Shout out to you. This is a fantastic worthy upgrade. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm moving on. Unrelated to Tools and Talent Props, I just need more content for you guys. And if you are up for it, I'm up for it. So let's do it live. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
What are we doing? I was gonna save this for a future video, but let's do it now. This was going to be part of a trap display upgrade mod, but I'll just steal half of that now, and I'll do it for you right now. So give me a second here, because I need to get some tools that I was not anticipating here. All right, hopefully this is not coming across sloppy, but it's a double feature type of video. All right, and I am going to highlight a border here because I will probably be referencing now this video for a future video to tell them to come back to. We have our ghost trap display case. So one thing I want to do with this, and this will be a multi-project, but something very simplistic, is I want to give this an upgrade in authenticity. I want to replace this V-hook, kind of. So in order to kind of give this a realistic V-hook, I want to make it match other V-hooks, the male and the female of the Ghost Trap, or the Neutrino Wand, or the Proton Pack. What do they all have in common? It's not black. So all you gotta do is if you flip on the backside, take a Phillips screwdriver, you'll see 2 Phillips screws. So we just undo one here and just put it aside carefully. And the second one, theoretically you could do it from the top, but I'm showing you why you want to do it from the bottom here in 1 second. So we'll take our second screw out. This just pops off. There's our stock V-hook. We can put this to the side. And now the key ingredient here is getting a Sharpie. Now this is not just a regular Sharpie. This is not just a silver Sharpie. This is a metallic paint oil-based Sharpie. So if you just go have a normal ink silver Sharpie, you're not gonna get the same effect. I will find this and leave a link in the description below. It actually was a 2-pack. I have a metallic silver and a gold. The gold is for another future video. So if you want to get both of these, I'll leave a link in the description below for both, but for today, we are using the metallic paint oil-based, and then the other key thing too is get medium point. Don't get a fine point, because it's gonna make your job a little harder. So what we're gonna do, and if you haven't used one of these Sharpies before, it actually does tell you how to do it. You take the cap off, you take your thumb, you push this down 3, 4, 5 times to kind of break the seal. You put the cap back on, you invert it, and then you shake it up. If you notice, there actually is like kind of like a ball in there, just like a regular like paint can, because this is paint. After that, you take the cap off, get a blank piece of paper, draw a bunch of S's or Z's or O's on there until the paint starts flowing. But the reason why I took this off is because now we have a point on the side to hold. So we can hold here. Now we're just gonna make our black V-hook metal-ish.
And now I am making your silver pants blue.
Just start painting. And the best thing I can recommend is trying to do long strokes, because it might come out a little streaky versus like if you had a like a paint brush. But the look I'm going for is the rest of the display case, which is quite worn. So it almost gives, with the black undertone, it kind of gives like a scraped up look, which is probably what I would do. And the great thing about taking this off from the back is using this black handle, and that allows you to get the sides. If you didn't, then you would probably have to paint like the front and then wait for it to dry, then grab it by the sides. But with this, that black little part on the back acts as a handle. But yeah, even having some black pop out, it kind of gives like this grayscale to it of like a brushed look. I am digging that. I think the 2-pack is probably like 15-20 bucks. I will leave a link in the description below. You don't have to get both, but the gold one will be popping up in a future video. I promise you that. For somewhere in the Proton pack. So up to you whether you want to paint the screws or just leave them black. I thought, well, you know what? A lot of the other screws on the Neutrino wand and the Proton pack, they are a silver screw, so why not just paint over it? But as you can see, it's not a complete flat look. There's a little bit of texture into it, and even kind of have some streaks, gives this nice brushed look. So this dries pretty quick. I would not probably do what I'm gonna do and put it on right away, so I'm not going to screw it back in, but I do want to place it in to kind of give that overall finished look. I think they say that it dries like within 10 or 15 minutes. Okay. I'm not going to screw it in because I will probably have to handle it, but to kind of give you an idea of what we're going for here is now we have what looks to be a metal V-hook for our trap display case. So there you go. You guys got a double feature today. I was not expecting that, but the hose upgrade was as simplistic as I thought it would be and went very quick, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit extra content because I thought the video would be a little too short. So shout out again to Tools and Talent Props for just an awesome upgrade to the HasLab Ghost Trap, that subtle detail to the texture of the cable and that pop of color with the heat shrink. Well done. I do want to let you guys know that if you want 5% off, use the coupon code WeGotOne, all caps, one word, WEGOTONE. We got one that'll get you just another couple percent off. So use that. I hope you enjoyed the idea of using the metallic oil-based Sharpie, and the fact is, it now looks like a V-hook like all the other V-hooks. So $25, maybe a $10 Sharpie. Now you have the 5% discount code with We Got One. You basically can do both these upgrades for well under $40, and I think it's a worthy time. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions about what I did for either one of these upgrades, leave a comment. And if you haven't done already, please subscribe. Catch you guys next time. See ya.